Iran confirmed Tuesday that top security official Ali Larijani was killed in an Israeli strike the day before. Larijani headed the country's Supreme National Security Council and was widely seen as one of the most powerful men in the country. He had close ties to the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and his son and successor Mojtaba. Iran says it has retaliated for Larijani's killing. State television reported that Tehran launched missile strikes toward the Tel Aviv area overnight, describing the attack as revenge for the assassination. The killing marks a major escalation in the U.S.-Israeli war in Iran, now in its fourth week, with the conflict spreading across the region. As tensions rise, U.S. President Donald Trump has criticized allies for refusing to help secure the Strait of Hormuz, a key shipping route for global oil supplies. Trump says NATO countries and other key partners have declined to get involved, calling their stance a mistake, even as the strait remains largely closed and energy markets stay on edge. The conflict has also triggered turmoil inside the U.S. government. Joe Kent, the head of the National Counterterrorism Center, resigned Tuesday. In his resignation letter to Trump, he wrote that Iran posed no imminent threat to the United States. Meanwhile, in Tehran, a senior Iranian official says the country's new supreme leader has rejected proposals for de-escalation, saying it is not the right time for peace until the United States and Israel accept defeat. Oil prices keep climbing as the war drags on, up about 45% since it began on February 28th, stoking fears of global inflation and a wider economic shock if fighting around the Strait of Hormuz worsens.
Well, there was an alarm. We went into the shelter. We heard a crazy boom. When we were allowed to come out, we went to the balcony as there was the smell of fire. We saw fire. We went downstairs. We saw that everything here was blown up. As we understood that shrapnel had fallen onto the sidewalk and exploded. It exploded onto an electric vehicle, and the batteries caught on fire. And that's what caused the fire.
We are at the most serious scene, where there are 2 fatalities inside a building on the 3rd floor. Apparently, they were unable to reach the safe room. Just a few meters from the safe room, they were struck and killed. At the same time, across several scenes, we can say there is an additional person likely injured. But the numbers may change. This is the most severe scene.
I came here to check the lists. I don't know whether his name is on the list or not. I don't know if he is alive or dead. So far he is missing. I have no information at all.
U.S. Airlines on Tuesday reported stronger than expected travel demand heading into the spring, supporting higher fares and revenue growth. This comes even as a surge in jet fuel prices linked to the Iran war has pushed operating costs higher. Executives said carriers were already moving to blunt the impact through fare increases and capacity discipline, betting that resilient consumer and corporate demand would allow the industry to recover at least part of the added expense if elevated fuel prices persist. Shares of most U.S. airlines, including American, United, and Delta, jumped Tuesday morning following the new guidance. Delta's CEO told a conference Tuesday that consumer and corporate demand accelerated into March, prompting the airline to raise its first quarter revenue forecast while maintaining its earnings outlook, though the company later said it was canceling some flights because of delays caused by the partial government shutdown that is leading to very long wait times at TSA security checkpoints. A TSA administrator told Fox News the funding standoff could lead to the shutdown of some smaller airports in the coming weeks. American Airlines also updated investors on Tuesday, saying its first quarter revenue is now expected to rise more than 10%, above its previous forecast of 7 to 10%, as demand outperformed expectations. The carrier said it still expects an adjusted loss per share, but now sees it toward the lower end of its earlier guidance. Jet fuel prices have soared since the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran in late February, lifting costs for an industry where fuel is second only to labor in terms of expenses and typically accounts for about 20 to 25% of total operating costs. U.S. airlines are particularly exposed because most do not hedge fuel costs, unlike some European and Asian carriers that use hedging to cushion price shocks. Still, Scandinavian carrier SAS said Tuesday it will cancel some flights in the short term, citing the sharp and sudden increase in fuel prices. Meanwhile, Delta said the industry already had pushed through 2 fare increases in the past 2 weeks, and it remained well positioned to recover high costs with flexibility to cut capacity if fuel prices stay elevated.
Nous ne sommes pas partie prenante au conflit. Et donc, jamais la France ne prendra part à des opérations.
We are not party to the conflict, and therefore, France will never take part in operations to open or liberate the Strait of Hormuz in the current context. On the other hand, we are convinced that once the situation has calmed down, and I deliberately use this term broadly, once the situation has calmed down, that is to say, once the main bombing has ceased, we are ready, along with other nations, to assume responsibility for the escort system. But it is all political, technical, and obviously with all the actors of maritime transport, with the insurers and operational work that we must build. We have begun exchanges with India, with several other European partners or partners in the region.
Nous avons commencé les échanges avec l'Inde, avec plusieurs autres partenaires européens ou partenaires de la région.
Warner Brothers Discovery chief executive David Zaslav, who has consistently ranked among America's highest-paid CEOs, will now likely receive one of the richest golden parachutes on record. A regulatory filing this week showed that Zaslav is set to pocket up to $887 million after the Warner Brothers sale to Paramount Skydance is completed. Breaking down the numbers, Zaslav is expected to get cash severance of $34.2 million, including salary continuation and bonus components triggered by a change in control termination. The Warner Brothers CEO is also set to receive $517.2 million in unvested share awards, as well as potential tax reimbursements of about $335 million. Warner Brothers Discovery last month agreed to be acquired by Paramount Skydance in a $110 billion deal, ending a high-stakes battle over the storied Hollywood studio against rival bidder Netflix. Along with his golden parachute, Zaslav is going out with Oscar gold, as Warner Brothers emerged as the biggest winner at Sunday's Academy Awards. The studio's one battle after another won 6 Oscars, including for Best Picture, while its film Sinners collected 4.
From AI and job creation to will.i.am's EV, this is AI Weekly. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said he believes AI will increase productivity and create jobs rather than eliminate them. He was speaking during a Q&A session with journalists and creators at the company's GTC developer conference.
We are tens of millions of manufacturing workers short. Employment's very high, and yet many companies don't have enough labor. Robots will fill in that gap, number one. As a result of filling that gap, all of our country's economy will grow. And when the economy grows, most companies tend to hire more people.
Encyclopedia Britannica and its subsidiary Merriam-Webster are suing OpenAI. They say it misused their reference materials to train its AI models. In a complaint in Manhattan Federal Court, Britannica said OpenAI is using its online articles and encyclopedia and dictionary entries to teach its flagship ChatGPT to respond to human prompts. US President Donald Trump has accused Iran of using AI as a disinformation weapon to misrepresent its wartime successes. Trump said on Truth Social that Iran had shown kamikaze boats that do not exist. He further stated that Iran used AI to falsely depict a successful attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said during an internal all-hands meeting he expects AI could help the cloud computing unit Amazon Web Services achieve $600 billion in annual sales. That's double his own prior estimate. AWS last year booked $128.7 billion in sales, up 19% from 2024.
And I wanted to build a product that America doesn't really focus on at the moment, and that is micro-mobility.
Musician and tech entrepreneur will.i.am has unveiled his Trinity EV. It's a compact electric vehicle that doubles as an artificial intelligence-powered workspace. At the core of the Trinity EV is an onboard GPU system that processes AI tasks directly within the vehicle, rather than relying on cloud computing. will.i.am described the vehicle as a mobile computing hub that integrates seamlessly into daily life.